Hey, folks, welcome back to Jaytalk. Your host, Jay, and of course, the other co host.
See, I'm even going to cut you off when you do that now. You got to wait for the applause. I got to throw it in there. You know how much it drives me crazy.
I know. So, then there's our comedic relief, as he likes to call himself, Mr. Nick. How are you doing?
I'm going to do that every time.
I know.
I'm doing great, man. The shoulder, from the surgery, I went and did my first physical therapy today, like the real hardcore deal. And man, it was great. He showed me some new exercises. He was unbelievably amazed at how far my range is and my motion and the strength that I have in my arm. And I haven't really done anything, like hardcore. I'm not going to push it because I've heard too many rumors about rotator cuffs. You can re-tear them when they're not completely healed.
Oh, yeah.
It takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal, maybe 8 weeks for some people. I'm luckily a quick healer. So he was real impressed. And he's like, go to Academy and get you a couple weights, but don't go over such and such, and then I'll see you Thursday. So it's going good. I'm real happy with it.
2, 3, or 5 pounders?
Well, we don't want to push it now. I'm only going in 4 weeks in right now. So I have 1 pounders, and I'm just doing like standing with your arms dropped and bring up to your chest.
Yeah, just curls, basically.
Just curls. But not like, doing the biceps, but, putting all the muscle, pushing all the muscle all the way down your arm that allows your shoulders to do the work.
No, there you go.
And then laying down and lifting your arm up and lifting your shoulder up and doing stuff like that. So I have a whole set of new stuff that I'm doing that I really like.
Good for you, man.
He's awesome. Yeah. So what's up with you, brother?
Not much, just had a good weekend. Went to my parents this past weekend and helped them work around the place. It always makes you feel good when you can help your parents out and do things around the house they can't normally get done.
Right.
It's a rewarding thing. I know people think it's an expected thing, but it's also can be very rewarding.
Right.
So it my parents are getting older, so it's always nice to help them out. I don't get to go over there as often as I'd like, or maybe even, whatever, because of, you got your real life and you got your own life and you got your own kids. So just always kind of nice. But, and of course,
you'd like to make them a priority, but now with kids and all that stuff, the job, yeah. When you can, you got to get it taken care of. My mother's screaming at me right now. She's wanting to go do some test cooking, which we always do.
Oh, that sounds like
fun.
Like
once every couple months we get together and we'll make a pot of gumbo and we'll try something new. Like she got excited. We started making empanadas.
Okay.
And we had a lot of fun doing that.
Okay.
Because we put meat in some of them. We put apples in some of them, peaches. So it's a hard process, but it's a lot of fun. Mom and I like to do a lot of cooking stuff together. It's fun.
Yeah, see, that's kind of cool. I like that. So that's not too bad. So, but yeah, no, it's other than that, I did this dating event, singles event, whatever you want to call it, on Sunday, and that was a lot of fun. And what? Why you gotta laugh at me? Okay, so this is
because I'm like, tell them what you're doing, because it just cracks me up.
I know,
I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but still.
Oh no, you made fun of me. I know, it was pretty funny, and I even shared your joke. So that's kind of our segue into. We're doing another little episode, kind of a catch-up episode of, hey, dating part 3, online dating. I know, right? Oh, my gosh. So,
or should I do this?
Birds. That's probably about accurate right there, yeah, because, I got no callback, so, then it was pretty funny. But, no, it was, actually, I will say it was a great event. And the event was, here you go, folks, axe throwing. I know. And Nick's favorite joke, you're going to love this. He said, really? You're going to put a bunch of divorcees, single people with axes in the same room. Come on, what's wrong with this?
What is wrong with this picture? Disgruntled, divorced, single people that can't find a date because this online crap is ridiculously. I I don't even know if anybody can be a professional at online dating. I mean, how do you master something like that? How do you even get good at it?
Years and years and years.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, but even then, I mean, it's, you don't want to be a professional. You want to be off the damn thing. Come on,
As quick as
people.
possible.
Yeah.
If you became a professional, you would be really good at saying something creative to get them to respond, male or female, doesn't matter. You would have some creative to get them to respond, and you would text and whatever, maybe get to the talking point, but taking that next step to actually meeting, that's where, in my opinion, it falls really short.
No, yeah.
For me, the texting, it'll go back and forth on whatever site or however it works, and then it just kind of fizzles out. And I'm going to tell a couple stories that's happened to me since I signed up on Match.
Oh, come on. You just barely got on Match. You have another story that I do want you to tell because, yeah, that one was kind of crazy. But, yeah, it's we're going to talk a little bit about Match. I think we talked about Tinder and we talked about Bumble last time. And
right.
we rarely touched on Match. So, because I think this is the second event I've been to in 2 months. Has it been 2 months?
Yeah, because it was a couple months ago I was going to go and I chickened out and backed out at the last minute, remember?
Yes. And I made a crude joke and you thought it was funny, but you were like, still ain't going. And I was like, come on, dude. So, I'll tell the crude joke. That way, you guys can hate me from the beginning.
That bad. It's not that bad.
No, come on. It was okay. I have a sixth sense of humor. I really do have a sixth sense of humor. Okay. And if you don't find this funny, I'm sorry that you don't find this funny. Check your funny bone because it really was hilarious. I'm not sorry I said it. I really do. It was really funny. So the last event I went to was a fencing event. And this is the one I tried to get Nick to go to, and he chickened out on me. And I called him up, and I'm like, dude, you coming? And he said, no, I'm going to skip out. Dude, really, why? And he said, nah, just, I don't. And he's just him-hawing about. And I'm like, dude, come on. I was like, it's fencing. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, where else can you poke a woman in public and get away with it?
Oh, for our studio audiences.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, people. That was funny. Okay, it's a joke. So it
better than throwing an axe at her, right?
I know, better throwing an axe at her. Exactly. So I mean, come on. If you don't know what fencing is, look it up. I mean, all you're doing there is literally poking each other all day long. So it was funny as hell. But no, that was a good event. I didn't really meet. Well, we talked about this. I met 3 women. We talked about it on the self-worth. We talked a little bit about that one because there were 3 women that were there that I didn't, they were attractive, but they wanted kids. No, I'm not starting over. Yeah.
At 50. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right. So,
you're going to college graduation. You're almost 70.
Yeah, no. No. Yeah, I know, right? So
I fell out of my chair. I just fell out of my chair.
There you go.
Ain't doing that.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so I did this. I did the axe throwing event, which is actually the second time I've done one from Match. So I did one probably 4 years ago. I did one through Match as well. And I actually really enjoyed it. Okay. The nice thing about these match events, and this is one of the things I enjoyed, is going into it that everyone there has the same interest as you do. They all want to do axe throwing. You know what? And if you can talk about nothing else, there you go. That's something you can talk about. So that for me was kind of cool. So I had a lot of fun. I think I did pretty good at this event. Me personally, I love axe throwing. Me and my son, of course, when I buy my next house, we're actually going to build a axe throwing range in my backyard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just
That'll be fun.
it is.
I can come over and you can teach me how to throw them.
There you go. There you go. So, but I mean, that's just, it's something fun that we want to do. And, you know, so, and that's the kind of funny thing about it. So I'll tell this little really quick story. I was sitting in the back on a little bench, and this lady walks up and sits down next to me.
Now, this is one of the women that came to the axe deal. She with Match?
Yeah, she was with Match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just one of the single ladies. I wasn't attracted to her, but she was a nice lady. So, and she was on my team. So I'm just at this point just having fun. Okay. Right. So I'm not really worried about, but, so she walks up, she sits down next to me, and she said, it's a good day, isn't it? And I'm like, I look over and I said, yeah, anytime I can throw an axe is a really great day. And she literally looks at me, she gets up, and she walks off.
Now, see, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I know, me either. I'm like,
it probably just scared the crap out of her. She's thinking, oh, okay.
He's an axe murderer, you know?
Yeah,
it's
right?
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you're at an axe throwing event. I thought it was the proper comment. I mean,
I thought it was funny. I think it's funny.
But see, that's the funny thing. It's like, wait. That was sarcasm. That was wit. That was hilarious. What's wrong with your funny bone? I mean, no offense, but what the hell? You know?
See, that goes back to that divorcees, single, frustrated, trying to meet people.
I know.
And you got an accident.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So
if you ran out of coffee that morning, oh, hell no.
Well, you know, and it's funny because I actually made the joke. Okay, I did tell everybody your joke about, you know, divorcees, single, you know,
right.
And everybody laughed at it. But it was pretty funny. The trainer / guy, the guy that runs the event that works for the what is it? Houston Axe is the name of the place. He's sitting there and, you know, he does his normal routine and he's helping people out while we're playing these games. The guy that I went to who did it 4 years ago, he made a hilarious joke and it was really effective. This guy didn't make it. So we're more than halfway through the class. And, you know, I'm having a good day. I'm throwing pretty good, and I'm starting to get into a groove. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself, and my team's kind of struggling a little bit. Normally, no offense, most women, they're scared of an axe. So of course, you know, they're just kind of lobbing it over there. They're just kind of barely, you know, some of them barely even make it to the wall. You know, so it's, you know,
right.
I don't know if it's just this fear of the axe or fear of it bouncing back. I don't know. But I look over and I said, I'm going to tell you a secret. And this is my team. It's you know, we've got 4 girls, 3 guys on our team. And maybe it was, yeah. And I look over and I said, I'm going to tell you a secret. And they were like, well, what's that? And I said, imagine your ex. Okay. I said, when you look at the target, imagine your ex, and then throw the damn axe.
Here we go. Pissing them off, making them think about their ex. And if you look remotely like him, you're in trouble. Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. I know. But it was
behind him.
It was funny as hell. So the lady who was up next, you know, I said, visualize an attack. What movie is that from?
Oh God, you caught me off guard. I don't know.
Waterboy. Visualize.
Oh, see,
yeah.
I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan.
Okay, yeah. But visualize an attack. So I literally, you know, she's walking up and I'm like, visualize an attack, you know? And so she walks up, not lying. She walks up, she grabs the axe and she literally stalls for a second, looks at the target, throws the damn axe. And you know what? She threw it probably pretty damn hard and it stuck. And I was like, see, and she looked over and I was like, see, I was like, she's like, whatever. You know, it's kind of like, you know, all you got to do, you got to psych yourself out. That's all. That's
Right.
what it's about, you know. So, but no, we had a lot of fun. I met a girl that I probably would have asked out if her friend hadn't told me she wasn't single. So I'm kind of confused why she was at a singles event. Yeah,
Right.
I
Maybe
know.
she just wanted. Maybe she was bored and just wanted to throw an axe, or her and the husband got in a fight, and she just wanted to,
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe. Well, maybe she was the wing girl. You never know.
Oh, maybe.
You
There you
know,
go.
she was a wing girl for a friend. I don't know. So I wasn't attracted to her friend. So it sucks, but it is what it is. You know.
Right.
So, but
Maybe they have something funny like paper mache or something that's not dangerous. Swords, axes. Oh my God. What are we going to go to a gun shooting competition next? Oh no.
oh,
No, no,
dude,
no.
yeah, I don't. That would be fun, but I don't know if I'd do that at a match event. That may be pushing it there on the luck.
Bowling.
Bowling, yeah,
That would be fun.
Well, they have a couple of they have a couple of interesting events coming up, but yeah, they don't. The scheduling is kind of really bad right now for me.
Yeah. Latin dancing.
I did that one.
I would do wine tasting.
They got one of those coming up too.
Yeah, I would do that.
Sushi making.
That you and I talked about that. We need to do that.
Yeah,
That would be really cool.
The scheduling's bad for me. That's the problem.
Well,
Yeah. So
that'll be another one.
yeah, I know. And then barista.
I don't see you and I getting married anytime soon.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. My current luck, you're right. I won't have a date for another 6 months to a year. So
wait till you hear my story. You'll know why I don't get a date.
Yeah, but see, your stories scare me into not dating. So
I don't walk into the fire.
no, the fire just follows you around. Is that what you're saying?
It falls it falls on me.
Yeah.
Lord.
No, but yeah, no. I will say my experience with Match. Unfortunately, fortunately, most of my dates, all my quality dates, have been from Match. I will say that. Generally, I get quality people out of Match. So, because generally, if you have to pay for something, that means you're putting a little more investment into it. And
definitely going to take it a lot more serious.
Yes, take it more serious. So that has been, pretty interesting, pretty good so far. The problem is if you've been on there so long, after a while you've seen everyone and everyone's seen you, and it just there's nobody new, and you're just kind of stuck in a rut.
Until the new people come in.
Yes. So sometimes it doesn't hurt. So I'm about to take 6 months off from Match to let 6 months worth of new people show up, and then I'll come back.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I'll just
maybe it's time to start hanging out at the grocery store or going to Sam's or to the mall or shop.
I already do all that.
You're not doing enough.
I know.
We're not gonna meet anybody on a podcast.
No, you're right. You're right. So, but no, that's pretty funny. But yeah, no, other than that, it was a great event. I have, let's see, my last quality relationship came from Match. So I will say it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got on it, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And of course, I'm new and fresh, and I wouldn't say I'm having a lot of success. I'm saying I'm getting more responses. And it's really interesting because I got on Match 8 years ago, like a year after my divorce. And I didn't get very many responses at all. But I think over the last 9 years, I've studied up and learned how to say things to people to get them to respond. I mean, there's an art in it. There's no doubt there's an art in it. That wing girl method thing that's online, I've been listening to that kind of stuff, and there's a podcast called Ask Women Podcast, and I listen to that, and they teach you how women think. So, and also responding positively. One of the things that I was doing today was when you start texting somebody on any site, and then, you kind of get to know them a little bit, and then the night ends. Well, the next morning, what do? Good morning. Hope you have a nice day. No, nobody wants to hear that. That gets boring really fast. And
Yeah.
people either want to jump into texting or talking because you can get into more things. You can ask more questions when you're talking.
Yes.
And or actually just jump right in. I actually read a profile that said when we first text or connect within 48 hours, if we don't have each other's phone numbers and we're not talking on the third day or at least meeting very soon after, I'm done. If
Really?
that's too fast for you, swipe right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 days. Because it becomes monotonous and then it becomes dragging on. I mean, I'm going to have a couple stories tonight about you get on these websites. I got on Match. I get a response, right? Well, I respond. And now I used to respond as soon as I'd get the notification on my phone, I'd respond almost immediately.
Yeah.
I would think about my response. And when I mean immediately, within 2 or 3, maybe 5 minutes tops, I'm going to respond quickly.
Well, but you're on short-term disability because of your shoulder. So, I mean, you're.
But even still,
I know.
I mean, if I have the opportunity to respond to you as quick as I'm going to respond as quick as possible.
Well, yeah, but if you were at work,
So
it may be
when I
30 minutes
say
to an
that,
hour, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to respond. Even when I was working, you were going to say something. I think we kind of got a hesitation in the sound.
Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No.
No.
So I do. When I get the notification, I try to look at it, respond as quick as I can. Even when I was working, even if I was, walked away from my phone for 10 minutes, but I would come back and respond. Some of these will ask a question at, say, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'll wait now 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to respond. And I'll respond to the question and then ask them a question back.
Yeah.
So that we can keep the banter going 6 hours later. And you can see on Match, you can tell when people are online.
Yeah.
And it's like, what
Well,
I had a late. Go ahead.
Hold on. Okay, so on that one, my problem is if you have Match on your phone, I think it still reports you as online because you may still have the app active on your phone.
Well, I mean, if you just got finished texting somebody, and yeah, that's true. I get that.
Yeah. But no.
Because,
If you ask
you
the
can
question,
minimize it. We're gonna have to check into that.
Yeah.
If you minimize it, but it's still running in the background, your phone's like in lock mode.
Yeah.
Does it still show you online? We'll have to look into that. But so that's the one thing. I had somebody actually reach out to me.
Yeah.
On Match, and I really thought this lady was attractive. I mean, she was, she had all the credentials, all the things we both shared, and it says we had a 98% match.
Really?
That's pretty good, right?
That's pretty damn good.
So she reached out to me, and I responded, and now that I've been doing this a while, I waited 30 minutes. I wasn't going to immediately jump in there. Of course, I also wanted to read her profile.
Yes.
Look at all of her pictures, reread it one more time before I responded to her.
Okay.
And all she said was, "Hello, Nick." And that was it. So I waited about 30 minutes and I responded, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "I checked out your profile." I said, "We got a lot going on, you and I, LOL." I was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And I asked her a question. And 3-4 hours later, she responded. And then I waited 30, 45 minutes again and responded to her and didn't hear anything until after lunch the next day.
Okay.
So I don't know. if I'm still the needy one, or if I think at that point it gets to where I'm thinking this person, and I might be overbalanced by saying they're a narcissist, but I think this person, if they're going to get online and get on Match, it needs to be in their top priorities.
Right.
Don't get online and say, "Oh, well, I'll get a date when I feel like getting a date," because women have the power to they can walk in anywhere and all they got to do is show a guy attention and they're going to get him, right? It's harder for men.
Yeah.
Not saying that they all can do it, but most of them,
Yeah, yeah,
if they,
yeah. No, no, no. I understand exactly what you're saying.
so,
And I guess my question to you, or my comment, is if you initiated the first comment, you would think that you would be apt to respond quicker and be more attentive to trying to find out.
absolutely.
I mean, if you're the one that initiated it, if the girl texted you first, you would think that she's, not unless she's trying to line up her fifth bow just in case the first four don't work out.
Right.
And that's possible, but I mean, really? I mean, come on. So,
It got like that. And of course, in the midst of this one particular situation, I reached out to another one and reached out to another one. So I got three of them that are texting, and two of them, their responses are very slow. Okay. And then one of them, her responses are like within 30 minutes. Or at one point, we were texting for like 2 days, just back and forth, banter back and forth. All right, have a good night, good morning. I even said something. I'm changing my tone. I don't say good morning. Hope you have a nice day. I'm like, make sure you go out there and make somebody smile today.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good
Something
one.
really creative instead of just going, hey, have a good day,
Yeah,
idiot.
exactly. Yeah.
Because that's what everybody hears. And yeah, you can say that. It says, make sure you smile at somebody today, or
You
I
make
hope
someone
you have
smile.
a day
Yeah.
that you make somebody smile or somebody makes you smile. And I actually said that to one lady. I'm like, if somebody does not make you smile, let me know. I'll do it.
Yeah.
To get something different, to get them to go double take. What? Not just a typical, hope you have a nice day.
Yeah.
So so I'm texting these ladies now. Mind you, the one that I was really interested in, she's a retired doctor. She's retired already at 54.
Okay.
So you would think this woman had time on her hands, but it obviously she's more busy than you are being a single dad with the job and kids. So I came to the conclusion today that, well, you know, I put that one away. I at this point I think she probably just ghosted me.
Yeah.
So, and then I had another one. It was a good banter for a couple of hours one evening after work, and then we said, hey, it's getting pretty late. I'm gonna turn in for the night. Good night. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. And that was it.
Nothing.
That was it. Nothing.
Really?
And now yeah. And then after we get off this podcast, I'm going to make a phone call to one that actually, she's another retiree, and she's in her early 50s. I mean, she's got money. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But she responds and she asks questions and she's engaging and she's funny. And
That's really that's positive though. That's really
yeah,
good.
but see, that's what I'm saying. That's the one thing that I'm about. If I'm interested in you, then I'm gonna make you a focus. You're gonna be in my priority list. Granted, right now I'm on short-term disability with my shoulder, and yeah, I'm really not doing anything, but I'm not gonna crowd you and bug you. For example, the one that I was talking about that just kind of closed off, she was texting me one morning, and I said, hope work isn't too busy today. Make sure you make somebody smile. I think she was the one that I said that. And she said, yeah, I got two critical papers that I have to finish up by the end of the day and turn over to accounting. Excuse me. And I said, well, get her done, girl. Have a good time at it. We'll text later after work.
Right.
And she said, thank you. That way she could not worry about it, focus on it, because we had just met and I didn't want to bombard her with text messages and all that stuff. So I let her go, And I guess she's waiting for me to text now, but I haven't because we got into this podcast. But I that's the thing I don't get. If you're going to respond to somebody, then respond and then go, okay, I'm not feeling it, or just, the ghosting thing really sucks. and I
I
want to
know.
quit doing it. And I don't like it when people do it to me. So I'm learning a hell of a lot about this online dating tricks and, what to say and how to say it and how to be more creative because good morning,
Yeah.
hope you have a nice day. Hey, how at 5:15 or 5:01 text. Hey, how was your day? That people probably go, oh, this SOB's he's needy.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So
I gotta interrupt. So on your profile though, is it pretty short? Is it long?
it's 2 paragraphs.
Oh, that's
So
not bad.
maybe 6 to 8 sentences per paragraph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually so I was getting pissed off at the match crowd. And I will tell you that I did put some stuff in my match profile um that was really kind of, I don't know, confrontational.
Oh, good. See, I love that because I want to go in and go, what the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? So, I will say, so I do talk about my son in my profile.
Right?
Um and then I make a comment about um what is it? Just general kind of I talk about the suicide foundation, and how I support them, because that gives you a little bit of maybe information about who I am. Do you know what I mean? And so I
Yeah,
use
yeah.
that. Yeah. So I use that, and I put a little bit about myself. I used to have a really, I actually made the comment, that I'm about the most honest person you can meet, and it's, brutally honest, and then of course I make the comment, nobody wants drama. If you have your own, keep it to yourself. I don't want to be part of it, you know. Um, but I remember, I did remove it from my profile, but it was funny as hell. Some people won't think so. Some people are going to be like, "What the hell, Jay? Why in the hell would you put this on your profile?" I actually told a girl that I put it in my profile, showed it to her, and she said, "You're never going to get a date again." She's
Sad.
she's probably right. Um, but I wrote in something about I'm going to sound like an ass, but if you look like you've given up, if you look like you've given up on your weight, I'm not going to be interested in, because I haven't given up on my, and it came across really kind of. It did come across really assholish, but at the time I was a little pissed off because of something that had happened, and so I just kind of was like, you know what, screw all of you, you know. I just put it
Right?
out there. So it's really kind of a horrible thing. I shouldn't have done it. But essentially, I mean, we've talked about this. Everyone has their, I guess, preferences. And so for me, I don't mind if a girl is overweight. I just don't want someone that's given up.
Right.
I'm still trying to get back in shape, and I don't want someone that's going to enable me to get, no offense, bigger. I don't want to. I want to get healthier.
Right.
And
And
that,
yeah, I agree with you about the weight. I,
yeah,
I don't have a problem with them being, whatever you want to say, the phrase curvy, chunky, whatever,
yes, exactly.
because I'm 30 pounds overweight. And if you got a 5 foot girl and she's 30, 40 pounds overweight, she's going to be a chunky little thing.
Yes.
Probably cute as hell. And I don't have a problem with that. But now if she's 5 foot and she's,
80 pounds
250,
overweight.
yeah, that's when you either have an obesity problem, with your body configuration and that going on, or you just have you've quit,
Yeah,
you quit trying.
you quit trying and you're happy with where you're at, or yeah, and that's just not my.
And I ride motorcycles, and a girl's 5 foot tall and 250 pounds. It'll be very hard for her to get on the bike. Number one, number two, it's going to be hard for me to maintain the bike
Yeah,
and be comfortable about it when you're
yeah,
if she's 5'8", then you got a whole different ball game there. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm with you on all that.
Yeah, and I know it sounds really crappy. Yes, women, you can curse me out. I don't care. It's a personal preference. I've actually talked to a couple of my friends who are women, and they were like, "Don't be ashamed of it. Be who you
No,
are."
be you.
And
Be you.
yeah, be me. And I'm not ashamed of it. I just maybe I shouldn't have put it on my dating profile.
Well, you know what I do is because I was on the Facebook thing, that's free. You know, you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
put
yeah.
something out there and you see what kind of response you get. And I would change my profile paragraph or whatever you want to call the thing about me.
Yes.
I would change it once a week.
Really?
Yeah. But what I do is the profiles that I read that intrigue me, I incorporate that into my profile.
Okay.
Like one of the things that I never said in my profile until I got on Match was I saw a lady's profile and it literally caught me off guard because I didn't even notice her picture. I literally swiped right and scrolled up and went straight to her profile without even actually looking at her, and it immediately says, I'm looking for a man that understands the meaning of mutual respect. And I freaked out and scrolled back up to see who it was. And I actually, I hit her little heart thing, or swiped left on it. Of course, she never responded, but yes, she did. No, she did. We talked for a little bit. But the mutual respect thing is one of the things that you and I have been talking about.
Oh yeah,
You know,
100%.
honesty, loyalty, trust, integrity, those are the things that we want to incorporate into our lives. And when it said mutual respect, I'm like, boom. When I got on Match, first thing out of the gate, I'm looking for a woman that understands the meaning of mutual respect. And you would not believe the responses I'm getting from that.
Good for you.
The following line is loyalty, honesty, trust, and integrity are very important in my lifestyle.
Right.
And then the next one is, I'm a stud and, no, I'm
Yeah. Hey,
what,
it's good to see that your self-worth has come back up, man. All right.
right?
See, there you
I'm
go.
a 6 now, not a 4 or 5, right?
Whatever. So,
But no, that's what I've been doing in the ones that I've been reading. I will incorporate that. And now that I have quite a bit of time on my hands until I go back to work, yes, I have read a lot and I've Googled a lot of things and I've researched a lot of things. So it's important to me. I want to understand women.
okay.
I won't ever be able to do that. But if I can understand their thought process, I mean, granted, we talked about the 5 love languages and Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Those books, I've read them. And so maybe I didn't learn that much from reading them, but I'm learning more now in the last couple years of being single
Right.
than anything. So with all that being said, now I'll tell the story of what happened that you've been dying for me to tell.
Okay. Yeah.
So
This is a good one, folks. Holy crap. This
one's for the record books right here. It falls apart quick. So meet on Bumble.
okay.
Very attractive lady. She's 5'5". I'm 5'5". So that's on my iffy part. A lot of women that are taller than me aren't interested in a shorter guy, blah, blah, blah. The 6'6" we talked about and all that. So we met, we bantered back and forth, had great banter. This lady works. I mean, she has a good job. She's got 2 daughters that have PhDs in astrophysics and computer science, and so very well rounded lady. So we banter back and forth for 2 or 3 days. Then we decided to look each other's Facebook accounts up, and we did that. And I was intrigued. She was intrigued. We gave each other phone numbers. We texted, and then we decided to meet on a Friday afternoon, like around 2:00. And she said to me, why do you want to start that way? She says, if the date goes sour real fast, then you can leave and go hang out with your buddies. And I said, no, think about the other way. If the date goes really well, we got a lot of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so write this down. Do not ever do that again.
What?
Don't start it early at like 2:00.
Listen to you.
Never do it.
No. Yeah, let it go into the late night. Don't ever start early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do a normal 5, 6 o'clock after work kind of thing on a Friday. And if it goes well, great. Then, hey, let's pop over to this little place. It's quiet and on the water, whatever. So we went to a place called Craft 96.
Okay.
And I'd never been there. It's one of her favorite places. She said they really have good food there. But it's a beer place.
Yeah.
They have 96 different flavors of beer.
Yeah.
And she's been harassing me because all I do is drink Bud Light. I don't drink liquor. I just have a couple beers. That's all I do, especially because 90% of the time I'm driving and I ain't doing all that. So we meet there and we buy beers and we're talking and we're having a great time. So anyway, we ate dinner. We left there and we went to this other place and she ordered another beer and ordered me a Bud Light and gave me a hard time about it. But she's drinking these IPAs, these beers that have 6, 8, and 10 and 11% alcohol, where I'm drinking the little 3%, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Now she's drinking 2 to my 1.
Okay, so she's slamming them pretty good.
She's slamming them, and they're 16-ounce draft beers, and I'm drinking a 12-ounce Budweiser, Bud Light, and we both drove there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So all of a sudden, she starts slurring her words. And I'm like, okay, we need to, get up and dance or, go walk or let's go find some place to get a snack.
This is first date.
First date.
Yeah.
So she goes, no, let's just walk over to this place over here, which is another bar right next door to the parking lot where we were.
Right.
So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, okay. By the time we got there, I guess all those beers had hit her. She was no longer walking in a straight line.
Okay.
First date.
I know.
Prominent. She actually has a PhD and I'm not going to say who she works for but it's a very big, it's the largest software company in the world. Can I say that?
Yeah, there you go.
So we walk in, she walks up to the bar and she's arguing with the bartender because they don't have the right beer that she wants because she's very picky about her beers.
Yeah.
So they finally settle on something and he looks at me and rolled his eyes. He goes, and what can I get you? And I'm like, Bud Light, dude, I'm good. He's like, he looks at me and he says, doesn't say, he just kind of mouths the word at me. She wasn't looking. And he said, thank you. Yeah. And he rolled his eyes. He didn't say it. He just mouthed it.
Yeah.
So we get over to the table and I took 2 sips of my beer and hers was gone. And I'm like, okay, we need to make an exit. So I said, all right, it's pretty late. Cause at this point it's like 8:00. We've been hanging out for 4 or 5 hours already, 6 hours.
Yeah. She's been slamming them down.
Goes, yeah. She goes, no, let's go outside. Cause they had an outside portion of this place we're at. So she walks outside and she said, where do you want to sit? I said, let's sit in that table over there. Cause we had to walk through a couple of tables to get to it, but it was kind of private so we could at least talk.
Right. She
walks by a table with a guy and his son sitting there, and the son was probably in his 30s or 40s. He was probably in his 60s. She grabs a chair, pulls up a chair, and sits down with him. Sits down with the father and son who look like they're having a good time. And I said, I'm sorry. Let's go sit at this table over here. She goes, no, let's hang out with these guys. They're good looking. And I'm going, this is a first date.
Yeah, I know, right?
And at this point, she's staggering.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have anything to drink now at this point. And I wasn't going to order her one. And I don't think she was coherent enough to order her another beer because I think the bartender would have cut her off. That's how bad shape she was.
Okay.
So I didn't sit down at the table. I stood with my arm on the chair and they're like, we introduced ourselves and all that. And they're like, Nick, sit down, have a seat. They weren't rude. They were like, Nick, have a seat. And I'm like, no, I've been sitting. I'm fine. And they're like, wow, you're making me nervous. And I'm like, don't mean to. I'm sorry we interrupted your conversation. They're like, oh no. And of course she's cutting us off. And
yeah.
So now it's just me and the dad talking and the son and her talking. And then out of nowhere, she just gets up and walks off. I'm like, okay. And they're like, wow. And I'm like, yep. First and last date we got going on right here.
Yeah.
So at that point, I kind of put my hand on her, between her elbow and her shoulder. I didn't grab her, didn't yank her up or anything like that. I'm like, and I pulled her close to me. And I said, come on, let's get out of here. And she's like, okay, I'm drunk. And I'm like, thinking to myself, okay, thank God. She knows it. She admits it. Hopefully she's going to allow me to take care of her at this point.
Right.
Right. Because she drove there. So how's she going to get home?
Right. Yeah.
So we walk out the front door. There's a lady laying on the ground and a guy leaning over her. And this lady just decides she's going to go help this woman. And I'm like, no, leave them alone. They're fine. Her boyfriend or whoever, brother, whatever, is there. And she's like, no. So she pulls this girl up and she hugs her. And they start walking back into the bar. And the guy had turned and walked behind her. And I'm like, dude, we got these awesome women here. We just need to take care of them or something. I said something nice to the guy. So as I walked over, there was another lady standing at the door with the door open going, come on, get inside, because the police were parked right there in their car. So then again, I reached under her, above her elbow and touched her arm. And I'm like, come on, let's go. And she's like, no, I need to help her. And I'm like, they got it. Her family's with her. She's fine.
Yeah.
Then she starts yelling at me, F you, we need to help this girl. And I'm like, no, come on. And the police are looking at us. So she finally turns and she's already cussing at me. That girl they could be trafficking her. And I'm going, oh my God. So at that point, the guy, before I could get her to move, the guy comes out and he goes, you got a fucking problem with me, boy? And I'm like, dude, I don't have a dog in this fight. And I grabbed her arm at that point and I'm like, come on, let's go. He's like, you better fucking run, you bald head. And I'm going, oh my God. So we finally, of course, the cops were there, thank God. We finally walk over into the parking lot and she's cussing me. You didn't let me help that woman and they could kill her. And she's going off the deep end. She's just.
Well, she's drunk. She's an angry drunk.
Yeah, she's angry drunk. And I'm going, man, how am I going to what am I going to do now? I'm like, look, you can't drive. I'm fine. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm fine. So she gets in her car. No. Yeah, she gets in her car and my truck's parked right there. So I'm like, get out. And she locked the, so I went and got in my truck and I turned my truck on and she started her car. Of course, I'm like sober as a clam now.
Yeah.
Okay. She started her car up and I called her on her cell phone and it took her, 30 seconds, a minute to find her cell phone, get it out of her purse, whatever. And she's like, what? I'm like, you need to turn your car off and take the key out of the ignition. She's like, I'm not driving. I said, if the key's in the ignition, they can get you for a DUI. Turn the car off and take the key out of the ignition. So she did, which was nice because she listened to me. And I said, what are you going to do now? I said, come get in the truck and I'll take you home. I'm not getting in your effing truck. And she gets out of her car and walks to the corner of the main street.
Yeah.
And she stands there on the corner and I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's going to take an Uber. I'm just going to sit here. So I'm sitting there in my truck and another truck pulls up and it's this other guy. And I get out. He goes, dude, you're not going back in that bar because that guy's looking for you. I'm like, nope, we're done. So I looked up when he drove off and I couldn't find her. And now I'm panicking.
Yeah.
So I drive back around past the cops, drive over to the other side where I could see her not getting on the main street. And she's still standing on the corner. And then all of a sudden she starts walking back to her car. So I'm like, oh no. So I drive back around, drive back over and I park right next to her car. She gets in her car again and starts it up. I call her. We do it again. I said, look, if you're not going to call an Uber, just come over here and get in my truck and I will take you home. So she's hung the phone up. She got all her stuff, got in my truck, and I just drove. I didn't want to fight. I wasn't going to argue with her. I was calm. I was sober. I was good. So I just turned to her and I said, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where you live. You're just going to have to tell me. And she says, fine. Fuck you. And I'm like, okay. I didn't even say anything. So we're driving, turn here, left, turn right, on this neighborhood. And on the way there, she goes, you're not even going to talk to me? And I'm thinking, what can I say that, because she's trying to pick a fight now.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she's an angry drunk.
Yeah, she's angry drunk. So I responded with, "Now you know why I drink Bud Light." She had zero response for that. About that time, she goes, "Stop here." She gets out of the truck. She doesn't walk into the house. She walks around the side of the house in the dark area and then turns around and stands there. And I'm like, well, that's my cue. I pulled, backed up, and I took off, and she was still standing there. And I'm thinking, that's not her house. She doesn't want me to know where she lives because
Exactly.
she's embarrassed. And I drove off. Never heard from her again.
Good for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You don't have things like that. Just me. Only me.
Yeah, okay, but you know, it's like, I don't know how to respond to that. You know, I have my own fair share of crazy first dates. I mean, come on. Now, I will say that one probably takes the cake. You know, after our crazy first dates episode, I still think that one probably took the cake because you almost had to run in with the cops. You had some random guy looking for you trying to pick a fight because of something.
Got thrown in jail with that.
Yeah, because of this some random girl who, you know, whatever, and this first date girl is flirting with some guy at another table, and then, you know, I mean, you know, you said she was talking to the son. Was she flirting with the son whenever she was sitting at that other table?
At this point, I was oblivious to what she was saying or doing because I'm coming up with an exit strategy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting for my moment to go, you need to go. Because I couldn't do it. Here's the part about you and I talking about integrity. I'm not going to walk out of that bar and leave her there.
Right.
There's no way I could do that. I would never. If I would have done that, just walked away from her, and she got in her car, killed herself or killed somebody, or God forbid anything bad,
yeah,
I would never forgive myself. Granted, I might not ever find out, but if I did, that would devastate me.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely devastate me.
She could have gone home with some random guy who beat her. You never know. Yeah. Raped her. I mean, she was drunk. She wasn't fully in control.
Well, she did tell me a story about the last guy she dated. He was physically abusive to her.
What the hell?
And after the date, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
You might, nobody deserves physical abuse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No.
Nobody in this world deserves physical abuse.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But
Nick's Amber Alert's going off.
Yeah, like all five, however many phones I got, they're all going on.
Yeah.
So nobody deserves that. But she looked like she was the type that created drama, especially when she drank. Yes. She was drunk, created drama.
Yeah.
And on her post or her profile, I'm not drama. I want mutual respect. I want honesty, loyalty, and trust. And this woman broke every rule in her profile.
On her first date.
Yeah.
Not even like on the second or
she
third.
She didn't even wait a year.
I know, right? What the hell?
She wasn't so narcissistic that she suckered me in and did everything that I wanted her to do and treated me like a king until boom. Oh no. She threw it all out there in the first date.
Yeah, there you go. Holy crap, dude. So, yeah, I can't even fathom that kind of craziness. But I will say it did take a lot of integrity for you to not walk away from that situation. I
could have easily got thrown in jail for all that.
Oh,
easily.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean,
just because I was with her.
Yes. Yes, because they could have assumed, oh, this is her boyfriend, this is a problem, there's a million different things. But
right.
Yeah. Dude, that's an insane first date story. That's and you met her on Bumble, which is really crazy. Yes. You know.
So she pays to get on the site.
Yeah. Yeah, but that doesn't mean. Yeah.
But still, even though we talked about, when it's free, you're going to get even the guys and girls, both of them, not just focusing my attention on the women, but
yeah,
they're going to go, oh, well, I'm single and I'm not meeting anybody. I'll just throw my stuff out here and see what happens.
Yes.
When you get on something like Facebook, it's numbers.
Yes.
You go through 500 profiles and, somebody's going to respond.
Yes. No,
So
I agree with that comment. So and I guess see that story right there is what scares me about online dating.
yep.
That one story right there is that's enough to be like, holy crap, do I even want to, So I will say though, match for me has been pretty good. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna take 6 months off, but I it's coming up on the holidays anyway. So I mean, honestly, it's not gonna hurt anything for me to take 6 months off.
No, but not to say something else about that, but the holidays, now's when you're going to get more responses and a little bit more motivation for women that don't normally want to reach out, that kind of are old school. They want you to reach out to them. Now that it's getting close to the holidays and they're single and they don't have anybody for the holidays, this is where women are actually going to reach out because they don't want to go through the holidays alone.
Okay.
Usually you'll get more hits, at least statistics, because like I said, I'm on short term disability, so I'm doing a lot of reading. Valentine's Day, July 4th, all the holidays, all of them, Halloween, women are going to respond or try harder to
Yes.
reach out to somebody. If somebody walks up to them in a grocery store and they're not George Clooney, but they're okay, they're going to talk to him longer and do the giggle hair flip and flirt more than they would in the middle of August.
No, that's a fair point. Oh yeah, I'll give you that. That is a fair point. So, I guess that's part of the reason why I wanted to start doing these single events is because it gives you a chance to try to be comfortable, natural, and just have fun and show the fun side, you know, while meeting other singles. It doesn't always work out, but it's a nice concept.
Talk
So
face to face is so much better.
yes, 100%. So and I had like I said, I had fun at the singles event. So my kids aren't there. I mean, damn, I can't do anything anymore without one of my kids with me. So
Right.
going to doing this event, it's nothing but adults and my age and or somewhat my age. I think the youngest was 35 at the latest event. So
Right. That's not bad.
no, it's not bad. So, but
See, now, when you're ready to get back into the game, you and on and you think about signing up for events and adventures.
okay.
Because I don't know if you know what that's. You know what that's, right?
Well, I don't have a problem with doing that right now. I just may take a break from match, not
Oh
necessarily
well.
from dating, but maybe from match. Maybe I'll sign up for 6 months of eHarmony.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
That's not a bad deal.
no, I haven't had any luck at eHarmony though.
I don't know if I'm religious. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I don't go to church on a weekly basis. So I eHarmony is more, you know, Christian or even Christian mingle. They're more, you know, on that side of things.
Yeah. Okay, that's a fair
I,
point.
I haven't I have an issue because of my past with churches and the way they run their business and their manipulation and stuff like that. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying the ones that I've run into were, you know, they just weren't good churches. Maybe I just got unlucky a few times and now I'm kind of soured on the church as a whole. You know,
Which
don't
is
get me wrong. Like I said, some of them are good,
well,
some of them are bad.
well, and
But
so I'm going to comment on this in the way we'll get back to dating, but just remember, church is made up of people, and people are not perfect.
right,
Let's just be honest. So
right, right.
it is. You may have run into someone that just something didn't happen, whatever. There are a couple of churches out there. I know really good churches, good people, but I've been to a couple of churches where I'm like, I just didn't feel right. And it didn't
Right.
feel comfortable. Something about it didn't fit. So,
just wasn't your fit.
It just wasn't my fit. So you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. People are people, So there's
But
nothing.
yeah, I'm hoping to come back on this the next time we do online dating and have positive, motivated, really funny, good stories.
Yeah, it would be nice to have one of those. Maybe even if you're like, oh yeah, I'm dating someone, we're not going to be doing an online dating much anymore. That would
I
be
still want to be your wingman. That's not very respectful to her, but yeah.
no. I mean, no, you're fine, man.
I wouldn't dare. But if I met somebody, I wouldn't dare. I would want to, but I wouldn't do that because that's not. I wouldn't want her to do that.
No,
Be a
exactly.
wingman for a girlfriend. I wouldn't want her going out to the bar trying to pick up dudes for her single girlfriend.
Exactly.
That's just not. I wouldn't dare do that. That's just so disrespectful.
Yeah. No, and the goal here is for both of us to get off of these websites. So,
Yes.
If this was the last online dating episode, I would be perfectly okay with that.
I would too.
Yes. So, sorry fans, but if you're looking for the funny stories, yeah, we'll keep bringing them to you as they happen. But if we can ever stop, that's sorry. It is what it is.
The cool part about that, let's say, Jay, we finally meet somebody and we're seeing them.
Yes.
I mean, like full time. Maybe not living with them, but we're dating and we've decided to make it exclusive. Do you realize how many funny stories can come out of just dating the same person?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I mean, even being married, I could do tons of episodes on the funny things that happened in our lives growing up with the kids and all that.
Yes, but are they going to be okay with us sharing those?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, they won't. Come on.
I would.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have
you would.
You know me.
Yeah, but come on. Most women are not going to be comfortable with you sharing their deep dark.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd go that. I don't know if I'd go that far.
I know, but you know what I mean.
I would like I'm not going to tell the whole story, but we were married and we went through a funny scenario with the kids in the middle of the night, and we told our friends on the patio, and I even looked at her to show her the respect. I'm like, honey, we've got to tell this story. We absolutely have to tell this story. And she was reluctant, but at the end of it, she said, I'm glad you told that story because everybody had basically kind of the same situation, and it was unbelievably funny. So in that instance, if she would have looked at me and said, I'm too embarrassed, I would have not told the story because I would never wanted to disrespect whoever I'm with.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's a fair point. So, it goes back to, we're trying to bring you great content. And if we ever meet someone, hey, we'll bring them on the show and let them share their funny stories, and be part of the fun.
We actually do have several people that want to do an online dating that we need to plan one. So we could actually do something and listen to their stories.
Yes, we can.
Because we've gotten quite a bit of email and we've talked to some people that they're constantly going, I want to be on your podcast. Well, first we have to vet a couple of them because we don't know who they are.
Yeah. Well, some of these, they actually, it's a couple of women who actually want to give the female perspective of the online dating and their experiences. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting kind of twist because, being able to talk it out and being straight, honest, and being kind of considerate of each other's feelings, I think is key.
Yeah, very much. Very much. Because that's what and I don't think I'm ever going to do it. I'm never going to learn to be able to understand women, but I want to be able to do it enough that when I do find that one, that she knows that I'm working every day towards that goal. And if I can find one that's working towards the goal to understand us as men, then I'm set.
See, I will disagree with you.
What?
Yes. I know. It's a horrible thing.
Why?
Because I don't want her to work on understanding men. All I care is if she works on understanding me.
Well, that's what I mean. No, yeah. I get it.
Because I've had a lot of people tell me you're not like most men. I mean, even some of our fans have emailed us and they were like, you guys, you're nice guys. You're not
I
like
get
the
that.
normal, and you're very much, what was the term that some of them have used? Self-aware,
You're right. But
it's,
see, that's what I'm saying. If I found a woman that was self-aware, and it's not just in a spousal or dating relationship that I'm talking about wanting to learn more about women. I'm talking about my sister and my mother and my cousins,
yes,
all the females in my life, co-workers.
right.
So when they talk, here's a quick example. One of my coworkers was getting a divorce, and she always had long, beautiful blonde hair and blue eyes. She's a beautiful girl, absolutely gorgeous. And she came walking in the next day, cut it all off, like super short. And I've worked with this woman for 12 years, and she's always had it long. Well, I was living with somebody at the time, and I went home, and I'm like, oh my God, she cut all her hair off. And she looked at me and she said, Nick, she's going through a divorce. When she looks in the mirror, she sees the same female, and she doesn't want to see the same female anymore, and she wants to change her appearance.
Yep.
And it was like a light bulb going off. I wouldn't have thought of that,
Yeah.
you know. And those are the kind of things that I want to learn, so that if I see somebody doing that, I know something's going on, and they need somebody to be polite and nice, and
Understanding. Yeah, exactly.
understand. You want an ear? I got it.
Empathetic.
That's what I mean. Yeah, empathetic.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I understand. Huh?
I know a lot of narcissistic women, not any empathetic ones.
Oh, come on.
I'm trying to find the empathetic ones.
Oh, come on. I know you know some empathetic women.
Do you think the drunk that I went out with a couple Fridays ago was empathetic?
No. I'm just saying, some empathetic women. You may not be dating them. They may be already married, but some empathetic women.
You know what? Yeah. I was just focused on the dating world because we're talking about the dating world. But yes, you are correct.
That's the challenge, because all the empathetic women are already snatched up, so it makes it very challenging.
Yes,
so
very much. And you're right. No, it does make sense, because I've seen couples that I've known for years and years and years, and you're like, I wish I had what they have.
Yes.
How do they do that? That's when I got started in it. Of course, it was after the divorce that I actually started studying on it, which was my bad. I should have done it before, but
well, yeah, but I mean, that's an episode in itself.
Right?
Because there was, at one time, you thought I had one of the best marriages, and obviously not, because I'm divorced.
At that time, maybe you did.
Maybe.
I was married for 20 years, and it wasn't all bad.
No, I know.
I mean,
I know.
The first 15 were amazing. It was,
yeah,
we had our fights and our arguments, but still,
yeah,
we went out on our dates, and we enjoyed each other, and we respected each other.
Yeah, that's
she
a fair
never
point.
had affairs on me, and I never had affairs on,
Yeah.
all the integrity stuff we had.
See, there you go. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, no, and I know there's some single empathetic women out there. I'm not saying there's not. It's just generally they get snatched up really quickly. So
right. So I'll find one, and she's going to have a friend.
Okay.
Or you find one, and she's got to have a friend. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's how that works, right? Yeah. It's yeah. Don't bring the non-single friend to a singles event, people.
Yes, do not do that.
Yeah.
In my last 2-year relationship, which was about a year and a half, she did that all the time. She would go out with her single friend, and now here's the caveat to that. She wouldn't go to the places that we go. She would go out of our little town to a bar that I've never heard of and don't know where it's at.
Yep.
With her single friend, and we're not picking up guys.
Right.
And see, I'm not the guy that you're going to be out with your friend. I'm not going to text you or do any of that.
Right.
So I would go out to Taco Tuesday with my buddies, and I would go to a certain place, and she would know, leaving the house at X amount of time. This is where we're going. We're going to be there till such and such a time, and then I'm coming home.
Right. I may run a few minutes late, but for the most part,
here and there,
a general time. Yeah.
this is to let you know where I'm at, what I'm doing, and who I'm with.
Right.
Okay. And blowing up my phone constantly. Hey, I got a quick question. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm so sorry to bother you. What is that all about? That's jealousy and insecurity on her part because it's okay for her to go. I, I live in Baytown. She went out to Atascocita, to your area, to some place.
What?
And yeah,
40
yeah, yeah.
minutes away.
Yes.
Okay.
With a girl that was looking for a man.
Okay.
Yeah. That right there is pure disrespect.
Yeah. 100%.
So I had to get rid of that one. And she's still blowing up my phone today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because
she's a narcissist.
Well, because you're a good guy and she knows it.
Yeah.
Let's just
She
be
played
honest.
me like a fiddle, like a perfectly honed fiddle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Well, dude, I know we ran a little long on this episode. But,
it was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was. For those of you who care, I will say Match has been really good. My personal view. Even one of my really good friends, his current wife, he met on Match, and they've been married 13 years now. They're gonna retire soon, and they love it. So it's give it a shot if you haven't. So.
Yeah, if you're single and you want to do it. So I'm a little frustrated with it, but I don't think it's Match. It's my frustration. It's the women, maybe I'm not creative enough to get them to respond. But like I said, I've only been on it for a week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get off this, I'm calling the lady for the first time right after this.
Yeah. Good for you, man. Maybe something will come out of it. You never know.
Shall see.
Yep.
I will let you know.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Of course, follow, share our podcast. We hope you enjoy the content. We enjoy bringing it to you. Anything from you, Nick?
Oh, sir. I love y'all. Don't forget to follow us again. Send us some email if you got some insight. If you want to come on the show, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. We are trying to work up a schedule for some of that. We've had a couple of people already, so look forward to hearing from you guys. So, Nick, of course, from me, love you, man.
Love you, brother.
Yep. And peace out.